have our holiday party right after this, so I'm not going to make the crew sit around for really long corrections. They've sat around for enough of them over the years, so we're going to move at a pretty fast clip today, all right? Because I appreciate them. Each and every one of them. Tommy. Jinx in the house. They got places to be, you know? Jermaine came. Paul. I set a 9-candled lamp. One sec. Was called a Hanukkah. It's a Hanukkah, not to be confused with the Israeli-made car, the Hanukkah Optima. Shoemaker, best thing about Hanukkah Optima? You never need to change the oil. Walked off last week. You know who told me I said it wrong? Lloyd. And he told me the right way to pronounce it. But since it was Lloyd, not a very helpful. Så I said Hanukkah. I said Hanukkah about Hanukkah. Lloyd's here. I keep saying the Keebler elves live in a tree house, and people keep angrily telling me they live in a tree, so I should be saying they live in a house tree. Also, I said they made crackers, and then everybody got mad and said they made cookies, and then when I corrected it, a bunch of you said, no, they do make crackers. They make soda crackers. Are they good? Soda. Let's. Last week, a bunch of you thought you got me because you were like, there's no cord. This is my cell. I said daylight savings time, it's daylight saving time. Here's a nice comment. Somebody said, hey, you should change the opening graphic in jokes Seth can't tell because your hair isn't brown anymore. So I reached out to my pals in graphics for an update, and here's what they came up with. Merry Christmas to whoever pointed that one out. We talked about Buzz Lightyear, like sort of dime store Buzz Lightyear and his wife Angela, and a bunch of you said Buzz is married to Jessie. That can't be astronaut married to a cowgirl? My grandpa would not like that. Different times. We had a picture of Vladimir Putin. We said he was down on the Jersey Shore, and a bunch of you said, that ain't the Jersey Shore. That beach is far too pretty. Someone wrote, I wished the Jersey Shore looked like that. Why didn't you use a picture of the Jersey Shore? Asking graphics to Google an image of the Jersey Shore is a OSHA violation. Oh! I only have one page left. I really wasn't joking around. Excuse me. Scotland. Hey, we knew this one was coming. We said New Jersey has both New York football teams. We knew full well a bunch would be like, what about the Buffalo Bills? Technically, you're right, but also, like, come on. You know what I mean? If you were like, I'm going to New York for Christmas, no one's going to be like, are you going to see the falls? Oh, The Wire. I said Mr. Hooper is like Avon and Elmo's like Barksdale. Obviously, Avon Barksdale is one person, and I knew it as soon as I said it. I was like,
Shit.
in my defense, I meant to say Marlo Stansfield, but I was a little hesitant to say Marlo Stansfield name out loud, lest I remind you.
My name is my name.
We mentioned somebody in a beehive, and then in the graphic, we're told it was a wasp nest, a paper wasp nest. So I asked graphics, I said, can you do it again with a beehive? And this is what they sent me. What's that? We mentioned the Big Dipper. Graphics showed the Little Dipper. That's just budget cuts. We're really feeling it with the constellation graphics. The other day I asked Tara for Orion's belt, and she said this was the best they could do. It's Christmas time. And can I say, I have a lot of differences of opinion with the man, but I'm glad that after his re-election, we can say Christmas again. Christmas. It's Christmas time, and I see some gifts from the Jackals. Some are thoughtful. Here's a book someone sent. Day of the Jackal. Beautiful copy. Frederick Forsyth. That's thoughtful and a nice book. Here, for some reason, was the other book someone sent me. No note. This would have been a very funny book to give him on the way to prison. It'll be over before you know it. I don't quite know. Oops, shoot, hold on. So this is a lot to take in. Because when I first got this snow globe, I thought it was 30 Rock. And then I looked closer and it's Buck. I was from Daryl and Nikki, thank you. And then our friend Bees McKeever, I've mentioned, I guess I told Bill Hader once, like when you put a joke on top of a joke in a sketch, it's called putting a hat on a hat. You shouldn't put a hat on a hat. And Bees McKeever sent me this, which is just lovely. It's a hat on a hat. And part of me thinks, is that what corrections is, you know? Are we just like overdoing it by putting a hat on a hat? But then Bees McKeever sent me a third hat. And I think really, in reality, that's what corrections is. It's a hat on a hat on a hat. But it's also about connection. And it's about this family of people here. And I was thinking about the fact that, you know, this is a big old family. And a couple years ago, Sarah Jenks wrote a poem that mentioned a lot of the people here. And it was the night before Christmas. And I was looking at it again, and I remembered that, you know, we don't accept outside submissions. You know, right before I came out here, I wrote Alex Vietmeyer and I said, could we softly play Silent Night? Is it playing? Good, I can't hear it here. So what? But I just want you to know, like, if you go back and watch, know that the whole time, like the last 3 minutes of this, I've been thinking, can we really not afford Silent Night? See me next year.